Hello everyone, Randy here again. We're playing Farming Simulator 15, and this is going to be a GPS tutorial. People keep asking me if I can make a video on how to set up and use GPS. So we're going to start off with a simple one here, just a tractor and cultivator. Pretty much be set up the same way for like combine, anything else that's going to be simple. So we're just going to line it up, and I'm going across the short way on the field just to show a couple options here. So to open GPS, it's going to be Control 0. It's going to be the 0 on the numpad. If you do not have a numpad, you're probably going to have to go into the controls of Farming Simulator and change the button configuration. But default, it is left control and the 0 on the numpad. Next, we're going to do control. Again, it's all going to be left control, by the way, so I'm just going to say control from now on. And it's going to be control and then the period on the numpad. And then if we hold down control, we can use our mouse and click on any of the buttons here. In this case, I'm just going to hit the automatic width. Always a good idea, especially with mods. Just double check, see if this actually is what the mod says it is. You know, if the mod says it's 15 and this only says 3, something's probably wrong. It could be the mod's only 3. In this case, you know, this is 3-meter cultivator, and that is what it's supposed to be. For example, you folks seen Oklahoma. Mod claimed to be 12. It was actually only 8.8. The GPS mod was correct. Sometimes it is the other way around though. GPS mod will be wrong and the store will be correct. You know, it'll actually will be 12 and the GPS only think it'll be 8. Anyway, got the automatic width. That's really the only thing we need. We are going to do Control Enter. Control Enter basically just lines the GPS up to the tractor. So, and seeing as how I opened it here, it actually is already lined up. Let's say if I want to go, I think it'll let me do 45. Should, yes. So now that I'm turned this way, it'll let me do 45. Just do Control Enter, and it will realign the GPS to the tractor or combine, whatever drivable vehicle you are using. But we're going to do that. Lower it down. Control W locks in auto steer. And then away we go. Basically, a couple ways you can use this, folks. You can either use it manually, as in do not use auto steer, just follow the green line, just like we're doing right now. Or if folks prefer the even easier auto steer, Control W, and away you go. As soon as you turn in either direction, it will turn off auto steer. So if I turn to the left, auto steer shuts off. Next, like I said, that's pretty simple, folks. That's GPS right there. You folks pretty much need to know everything you need to know right there to get started with GPS mod. Now, if you want to get a little fancier, though, we're going to go down to the end field mode here. We're going to turn that to stop. So if we go all the way to the end of the field here, the GPS should stop at the end of the field. If you don't do nothing, by the way, the GPS, it will just keep on going straight until it runs into something or you stop it, whatever. So in this mode, it'll stop at the end of the field. Typically, folks, I don't use this because it stops just short, and a lot of times I like to, you know, go all the way to the end, unless, of course, you're doing like headlands and stuff. So then, in that mode, it stops. Now, we do have one more mode, a little bit fancier. Let's turn back around here. We are going to put this on auto turn. So it will auto turn when it gets to the end of the field. Again, another mode, folks, I don't typically use, but you can use it if you want. Now, let's say it's turning the wrong way. In this case, it is actually turning the right way. We do want it to turn to the left, but if you want it to turn to the right, just hit those arrows there. It will turn to the right. And we'll lock on the steering, and away we go. In order to use these modes, by the way, folks, you do have to use the auto steer, so you do have to have steering locked on. At this point, folks, I am doing nothing. My hands are off the keyboard. It is completely the GPS mod that's controlling the tractor. And if we get to the end here, again, my hands are off the keyboard. I'm not doing anything myself. I'm actually not sure how well this will work with such a small cultivator. It's going to skip a couple lanes, isn't it? Okay. Because the tractor cannot make the turn, folks, the GPS mod will automatically skip the lanes. Not much you can do about that. If you have a bigger implement and the tractor can make the turns, it will not skip the lanes. And it's probably going to skip 2 again. Oh, it's going to skip 1. Okay, that's kind of annoying. In that case, folks, what I would probably do, you can set it up here so it will automatically... Nope, I do not want that. Or change that back down to 0. I want the plus and minus here. We are going to increment lane 2. So it'll skip 2 lanes. So you can have it skip 1, you can have it skip 0. In this mode, it's 0. It should be doing every lane, but like I said, because it cannot make the turn, it is skipping automatically. And seeing as how it's skipping looks like a random number each time, I would probably just set this up to 2. Now, for these buttons here, this sets how far away the tractor stops from the end of the field. That's good if you folks like did a headland first. And you can adjust the stop point. Again, options I don't typically use a whole lot. Up here, you can save and load courses. Again, I've never used those. GPS courses are typically so easy to set up, I never save them. But you can if you want. So you got different numbers here. Oops, that's course play. We don't need that. So you can change numbers. Save it to course 1. Down here, we have the ability to shift the course over. So if you want to shift the course over just a little bit, you can do that. You can rotate it 90. And you can rotate it in increments. So we'll just realign that. We don't need that. GPS line mode. It'll actually bump the line up. That's probably good, folks, if you're like harvesting corn or some tall crop like this. You can't see the lines. That's basically the purpose of that. You can hide the lines. And you can copy the course from a neighboring tractor. So let's say maybe you're doing multiplayer and you and your friend are setting this up. Your friend just needs to set it up. You can drive up next to him, hit the copy course, and it will copy the course from him. This is the auto steer button down here. Again, I always use Control W. But there's auto steer right there. We can set new direction. That's basically Control Enter. We got GPS wheel mode. Another mode I typically don't use, folks. According to the GPS help, this is supposed to be if you're using a steering wheel or gamepad. Pretty much it locks the steering so you folks cannot turn it a little bit. Again, I never use it. I just let it be. We got offsets. We'll get to that in a minute here. That's why I got the other tractor and plow out here. At this point, I think we're done with this tractor and really not much else to go over. Basically, folks, this is the mode I almost always use. Control 0, Control period, Control Enter, hit the width, and start driving with Control W. I don't typically do anything with the turning and auto turns and skipping lanes and all that good stuff. I just leave it be. I can handle the turns, and I think I can handle the turns better than GPS mod. Okay, folks, let's set up something a little bit fancier here. We got the Case Quadtrac with the big plow. Get that folded out here a moment, and we'll open up GPS. Again, Control 0, Control period for the advanced options. If you hit Control period again, it hides the GPS, and Control period again, it shows just a little GPS. We'll leave the all the options up at the moment. We'll align to the tractor. Again, since I opened the GPS on the tractor, it should probably already be aligned to the tractor. We're going to hit the automatic width. Not sure what this is going to come up with. Doesn't quite look right to me. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to drive forward a little bit first here, let it straighten out. We're going to recalculate that width again. There we go. That looks much better. Let's width that again. Again, folks, when you straighten out, you might have to recalculate it a couple times just to get the GPS set up correctly. In this case, I don't actually know what the offsets and the width of this is. I could check in the shop, I guess. 6 meters, it says. Okay, so I thought that looked a little narrow. Let's set that up to 6 then. Like I say, this is an example where the GPS didn't quite get it calculated right. Then I'm going to shift this over. Maybe we'll have to shift it over again. We'll find out. Is it, I think it is folded out, right? Yes, I believe so. So it should be folded all the way out here. That should be correct. We might have to change a few options here just to get this to work properly. And there, we're going to go for the offsets. So, looks like I need the offset to be a little closer. Like I say, folks, this is where you might have to play with it a little bit. We're going to try to get this within the lines. That looks pretty good to me. We could maybe go over a little bit more. It actually looks like it might be the 5 meters the GPS says it is. The store might be cheating us a little bit. We'll see how this goes. Okay, we're going to turn it around. Do a terrible job of it, apparently. Well, it looks like it is covering everything. The only thing is, I think the line is on the wrong side. It is indeed. So we want automatic offset reversal. We're going to turn that mode on. And it should offset. Basically what it's doing, that blue line, I don't know if you folks can see that or not. That blue line there should be flipping sides with the plow here. So once we turn around here again. Now you notice the blue line is on the opposite side. Well, technically it's on the same side, but it's on the opposite side because we turned around, so hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, it looks like the width isn't quite right here. It might actually be the 5. So here again, you folks could just go with the automatic, and I'm sure it'll work. Interesting, the shop says it's 6. Being an in-game piece of equipment, I wouldn't think Giants would have it wrong, but maybe they do. Okay, we'll just do one more here. And there again, you can see how the blue line is flipping. Technically, like I said, it's staying on the same side, but because we're turning around, it is actually changing sides. So I think that about wraps it up, folks. Like I said, this is all for offsets. Typically, like for plowing, the in-game tow-behind harvesters, sugar beets and potatoes, that'd probably be another good example. Not sure if I can think of any others off the top of my head here or not, but plowing's probably the best example I could think of. And like I said, typically you could just hit the automatic. It should do it, and looks like it did do it correctly. It's just the shop. Like I said, it does say it's 6, not 5, so the GPS says it's 5, so actually 5.1 at the moment, with a -1 offset. Interesting. But you can change all the offset options here. Like I said, if the GPS doesn't get it correctly, you can change them here. And then you're probably going to want automatic offset reversal, at least when you're plowing anyway. Depending on what you're doing, you might not need that. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Probably for the tow-behind harvesters, I believe you do not. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think you do. This button here will flip the offset side, so you see the blue line. Like I said, hopefully folks can see that. The blue line there will flip sides, but it is on the correct side at the moment, so we can leave that. Again, you can save the course if you want. So just a quick run through, folks, before we wrap it up. GPS mod, Control 0, opens it. Control period, advanced options. Control enter, aligns it to the tractor, which I probably just did not want to do right now, but that works. If I flip that, it should line back. There we go. So anyway, folks, so that will wrap up the GPS mod tutorial. Hopefully that helps you folks. And if folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and till next time.